So you want to know what Return of the Unicorns means? A lot of people want to know. So today I'm going to pull back the curtain just a little bit because I don't want to overwhelm you with this bomb I'm about ready to drop on you. To get you there, first I need to explain this term called diaspora. The word diaspora has a huge meaning, but for this conversation, I'm going to break it down into 6 sections. Specifically, I'm talking about 6 phases of African diaspora to the West. But even still, I have to oversimplify African diaspora to the West just to talk about this subject. But in so doing, I could leave out a whole lot of people. So I want you to know that this subject is created small just so we can talk about it. The idea of diaspora talks about the scattering of people from their homeland. To really understand the scattering of people, you should check out this scholar named Bhabha. Besides the fact that he has the coolest name in the world, Bhabha knows some stuff. And he said, I have lived that moment of the scattering of people that in other times and other places and in the nations of others becomes a time of gathering. What I believe that Bhabha is saying is that people are scattered so that other people can gather in that place. And those people that are scattered can go somewhere else and gather, and if they're not careful, that gathering will scatter someone else. Now, back to the African diaspora to the West and those 6 specific stages. So the first one is Moses in Exodus. Talks about the Hebrew people leaving captivity. That's the first one. The second one, Josephus writes that 70 years after the death of Christ, Israel initiated a series of relentless assaults on Roman soldiers and Roman establishments. Consequently, the Roman Empire evacuated the region, relocating a lot of the Jews to various parts of the Roman Empire, primarily Europe. However, the tribe of Judah chose a different path and migrated south into Nubian Africa. For many of the tribe of Judah, that seed kept moving west over a period of thousands of years. As Judah moved west across Negro land, the name of Judah evolved many times to eventually mean Ghana and Guinea. And the French took Griot throughout the world, and the Americans called it Griot. That's number 3. The fourth one is when the slave ships appeared and the North Atlantic slave trade created diaspora to the Americans and the Caribbean. Huge diasporic move. In the 5th one, Roberts 2019 says that in the United States, many Africans moved to Indian Territory, Texas, and Kansas after that slavery was over. Consequently, they formed 50 all-black towns in Oklahoma. Hundreds and hundreds of black settlements, neighborhoods, and communities, but 50 all-black towns. And when we say black towns, we're talking about self-governance. In that 6th and final move from Oklahoma, those blacks made a sweeping move from Chicago to California and every place in between. So the whole point of Return of the Unicorns is to reverse the diaspora by interviewing museum curators, archivists, librarians, and elders from California to Dakar. Now, I promise to tell you what Return of the Unicorns means. Just a little bit, because it's a huge subject. So, the first thing I want to say is, what is a unicorn? We've been conditioned to believe that the unicorn is a mythological creature, that it doesn't exist. Well, let's think about that again. So, in the Western world, when we see Africa, it looks like this on the map. Here's Lake Victoria, and here's the Horn of Africa. But when you're in Europe, Africa looks like this. And the Horn of Africa is the horn of the unicorn. And Lake Victoria is its eye. So, the geohistorical understanding to take from the term unicorn is that Africa is the unicorn. And for now, just for now, I'm going to call the people who are from African descent unicornians. The initial meaning of Return of the Unicorn demonstrates that I'm reversing the diaspora and returning to that original unicorn. And you can travel with me on social media. So, if you're in the class, I'm still talking about investigating family identity. In that case, the assignment is to try to discover the regions your family migrated to and from over centuries, not recent moves. Then check out who's living in those regions now. Remember what homie Bhabha said, that people are displaced so that others can meet in that place. The people that are scattered will find a way to meet in another place. And when they meet, if they're not careful, they'll scatter someone else. Bye now.